I want to get this show on the road with our next Future of Technology talk. So let's welcome onto the stage Praveen Penmetsa.
Hello. Super. Just want to make sure everything's working. Hi, I'm Praveen Penmetsa. I'm the CEO of Monarch Tractor. We are on a journey to advance regenerative farming. It's a journey that began here in actually Washington, D.C. back in 2013 when we answered a solicitation from USAID about how do we power agriculture. And it was a global solicitation. And that was the first time that I realized the magnitude of the challenges that were facing us on the food ecosystem side of things. My background, starting in the early 2000s, was on automotive electrification, autonomy, and energy storage systems for the energy sector. And just as how those three intersected to create great solutions on the mobility side and goods delivery side, I could see the same trends coming by in agriculture. Why does that matter? The huge amount of our greenhouse gas emissions come from agriculture and related practices. The keyword there is related practices, whether it comes down to soil health or whether we are talking about what the direct impact of some of the operations on the field are. But before we go down that path, let's take a look at some of the challenges that farmers are facing today. And these are challenges that farmers are facing on a global basis. This is true whether you talk to a farmer in Japan. This is true whether you talk to a farmer in India. This is true whether you talk to a farmer in California. And the challenges that they're facing are labor shortage. The average age of a farmer in Japan is 68 years. That's the average age. There's a tremendous pressure on them for traceability and compliance. We all now want to know where our food comes from and how it was farmed and what went into it. Along with that, they're also having to deal with climate change issues, and they're having to deal with all of the sustainability demands from the consumer side and from the compliance side. So all of these three things are acting against the farmer. So at a time like this, if we ask the farmer to do more, they're obviously looking to us for support on the solution side as well. And for each one of these, there's a solution. There's farm electrification, there's farm automation, and also the smart data. The digital transformation of farming has to be kickstarted for us to meet our goals. Here's our solution. Our solution is an electric tractor that is driver optional, that is also smart. Why a tractor? Especially a small tractor. This is what is called a compact tractor. This is a 40 horsepower tractor that can be found on any farm around the whole world. This kind of a tractor does 80% of the operations on a farm. Again, when we talk about fruits and vegetables versus, like, say, the big cash crops like soy, corn, wheat, rice, this is the workhorse globally. So if we can transform the most commonly used mechanization tool in farming, which is a compact tractor, we can start to kickstart the digital transformation of farming and also lead to more sustainable practices and reduce the greenhouse gas emissions footprint. Again, here's a short video clip. This is a very short talk, so I would encourage you guys to check us out on our website. So this is a journey, like I said, that we have been on since 2015. So this tractor is our second generation one. We have a third generation tractor that is now in farmers' hands in California that is being tested out on the field. Again, why a tractor, and how is a small tractor going to change how farming happens around the world and also help us meet our sustainability goals? For us to do that, we need a bridge. We need a bridge between how our food ecosystem operates today to how we want it to operate tomorrow. The food ecosystem cannot be transformed in a day or a year, so it takes us a while. So again, the tractor is a great way because the tractor works with the farmers with their existing implements and existing people the way they do farm operations today. So our tractor does everything an existing tractor does without a compromise. But also, we are setting in place, thanks to the latest and greatest technologies that have been developed and have been validated in other fields, the farmers are able to take advantage of this to start the process towards the practices that we want, which is electrification of implements, which is use of more data on the farm for more precision, which allows us to kind of be clever in how we apply our limited resources, but also use more newer implements and tools. For example, if you want to do a soil sampling across your whole farm, it's hard for us to expect the farmer to do that when he has no labor, he has no data tools, and he has no platforms in place. And suddenly we're expecting them to make a leap from a mechanical device that they use that burns diesel to an automated smart tool and collect data and take actions based on that. And that's where our platform kicks in. The tractor is more than just a tractor. Since we sit at the center of almost every operation, we can actually transform the way every operation is done in a smart, automated fashion. What does this mean for the farmer? Why should the farmer take this chance and invest into technology? The reason for that is twofold. One is the driver optional nature of our technology allows the farmer to save money from day one, from hour one. Since it's a tractor and works like a tractor, boom, right? Hour one, in California, we're looking at $20 an hour of saving. Over a year, we're looking at $20,000 plus of savings in an automated fashion by elevating the tractor driver to be a fleet manager and manage 6 to 8 tractors out in the field. Still an existing tractor, works with existing implements, very low risk for adoption. But apart from that, it also allows the farmer to meet the sustainability goals that is now being demanded by their buyers and that's coming in from the consumer side. It's a huge number. The reason for that is a tractor is equivalent to 14 cars worth of emissions. 14 cars worth of emissions. It's amazing if you think about it from that standpoint, that one small tractor and its emission footprint compared to a car that we see out on the road. Again, let's quantify this. There's a lot of different things that we can do that when it comes to soil health, when it comes to sustainable farming, when it comes to agriculture. Why focus on the electrification of farm equipment? Here's a study from McKinsey that shows that the ROI on farm equipment is the highest when you compare it, right? We're all the way over on this left-hand side of the graph. Right-hand side of the graph is where you see the animal protein replacements. That's the stuff that's all in the news. We need to focus more on how we can help the farmer change their practices out in the farm. And guess what? Best bang for the buck. And again, if we can electrify all the farm equipment, and if we can go to zero emissions farm machinery, we are looking at an equivalent of removing 100+ million worth of cars. And it results in savings for the farmer. Huge win-win. A common theme that I often hear, and I've heard over the last 7 years in farming, is it's a technology problem. Why are there not more electric tractors, et cetera? And that's what we at Monarch Tractor have focused on, changing the mindset of the equipment manufacturers, of the farmers, but also of all of us out here. It is not a technology problem. So what do we need to do now is we all need to kind of focus on putting the infrastructure in place. When I talk about infrastructure, I'm talking about both the off-road charging infrastructure that is needed for farm electrification, but also the data infrastructure. Rural connectivity is abysmal when you think about data. Rural off-road infrastructure from the electricity and utility standpoint is also not great. These are two things that by investing into, it's a complete positive, number one. Number two is how can we incentivize the farmers to transform from their old diesel equipment to the next generation of equipment. That is a CapEx cost. And farmers work on very minimal bare margins, right? It's a 3 to 5% margin business if you have a good year for a farmer. So when you go out there and say, hey, we want you to transform your practices, or we want you to change your equipment, or change your people, those are huge challenges. A farmer once said, I get 40 tries in my lifetime, you want me to take a bet on you, right? 40 tries being 40 seasons that he has over his lifetime of managing the farm before he hands it to the next generation. So we all need to be cognizant of what the challenges are on the farm, and the digital transformation of farming has to start there. So that's what we're in the business of. We're also working with existing farm equipment companies, existing farmers, and we're working with them in a collaborative manner to understand how our tractor can work with their existing people and implements to reduce that risk and enable that transformation. The tractor as is pays itself off just on operational savings on the labor side and on the diesel saving side today. So that's the great sell that we have for farmers, and that's why farmers are super excited and they're demanding the tractor. So now the onus is on all of us to figure out what infrastructure is needed to support these kind of technologies going forward. So again, I'll pause here. I'm Praveen Penmetsa. I'm the CEO of Monarch Tractor. Please do check us out on our website. 10 minutes is not enough for me to explain how to transform farming. But we have a lot more resources on our website. You can look up some of our case studies, etc. So happy to take any questions. I have 30 seconds left. Thanks a lot.